Howdy, howdy, fellow movie fans, and welcome back for another edition of the Wisco Movie Watchers podcast, brought to you by PTE Creative. As always, we're your hosts, Evan and Dylan Davies. You've concocted another movie builder for us today?
Yep, we got another list of randomized actors and actresses.
I will say, I've been streaming a lot lately, and I don't know how, even while streaming Pokemon, that that we're getting into movie conversations, but I brought this up and some people were having some fun in the chat rooms with things. So I think it's really fun to build these. So what are you
It is
building
fun.
today with AI's choices of actors and directors, and then we have to fill the
Yep.
spots?
So I originally was gonna do the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s,
Yep.
but instead, just to make it something that I'm more familiar with, I'm doing an adaptation of the PS4 Spider-Man game.
So Spider-Man video game, and you originally said Spider-Man the animated series, so you steered me towards. I still have in my back pocket my live action franchising that I can do whatever I want with. But I am doing Batman the animated series, and I have come up with a subplot kind of based on the greatest hits. I have 14 characters to fill. How many characters are you
Okay.
filling with Spider-Man?
I have I have Spider-Man, MJ, Aunt May, Harry, Green Goblin, Lizard, Doc Ock, Rhino, Scorpion, Wilson Fisk, who is Kingpin,
Yep.
right? Okay. And then Martin Lee I think he's original to the game. I'm not 100% sure about that, but he's like kind of the big bad guy. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters.
Interesting. So
Oh,
admittedly,
and Jay Jonah, obviously.
oh, you gotta have
Can't
J.J.
forget
Wilson.
him.
You better hope that J.K. Simmons is on that character list again, my friend.
Oh, I don't know if he is,
So
honestly.
we did also include. So we normally do actors, actresses, and directors, and then if the project is big enough, we do a list of character actors as well. Because it's not like you're going to
Mhm.
usually fulfill everything with those big hitters right away.
Yeah,
And
and
unlike, go
I
ahead, go
think
ahead.
the list of character actors probably do have repeats from previous episodes.
Yeah, that's fine.
The all the list of actors and actresses will all be different now because I went to ChatGPT and got like a list of five different ones, and I just kept saying, "Give me different ones that have not been listed."
Yeah,
So,
so Dylan has done a lot of the back end work to get us here, so he at least knows who's on the list. I have no idea who's on the list at all. I'm streaming and Dylan said, "Hey, you want to record?" I was like, "Sure." Let's
yeah.
let me finish the stream and then I'll record quick. So I have a 14 character list here. I am going to be doing Batman the animated series, as I said. I need a Batman, Robin. I am going to throw Batgirl in there, and I need an Alfred. Those are my core four of the Bat family. I then need a Commissioner Gordon. If you're doing Batman the animated series, you need a Bullock, and you should probably have a Montoya as well. So I have Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya as my street cops. And I also am putting Lucius Fox in there just so we can get a little bit more flavor closer to our movies as we know. And then my big bads, I have, as always, my anti hero Temptation. I have Catwoman in there, but she is the lowest level tier of threat here because I am going to be casting two characters voiced by Mark Hamill, one obviously being the Joker, and then the second is Ferris Boyle. And if you haven't seen those episodes, Heart of Ice is probably the top tier of Batman the Animated Series for most people. And it's the episode that deals with the newer origins of Mr. Freeze at the time. And Ferris Boyle is the industrialist, real piece of shit, um, businessman who shuts down Freeze's work and then gets him into the accident that creates the cold-hearted Mr.
Mm.
Freeze. So I'm doing Mr.
You mean
Freeze.
Doctor Freeze, right?
Yeah, oh God, this has been a contention since I've been 15 years old with Dylan and a great friend of ours that we grew up with, good old Mike Ittner, or just Ittner as we always like to say, where it shouldn't be Mr. Freeze. It should be Dr. Freeze because he's a doctor. I'm like, yes, but I understand that. But he's called Mr. Freeze, so that's what I'm calling him. So I have Ferris Boyle and Joker both voiced by Mark Hamill to fill, which is going to be really tough. And then I am going to do 2 bit parts with Summer Gleason, who is the biggest. She's part of the Gotham Gazette, and she's in so many episodes, but she's a bit part. And then I'm also going to give Dr. Leslie Tompkins, because I want to explore a little bit more of Bruce's origin story in his makeshift parents of Alfred and Dr. Leslie Tompkins. Those are kind of his stand-ins for when he loses his parents. That is what I'm going to go with. Let's go ahead and read the... Give me the directors and I'll take the actors, Dylan.
Okay. So the 10 directors that we can pick from. One sec, it just changed. Okay, so it's Bernardo Bertolucci. The only reason I know him is that he directed 1987's The Last Emperor, which won Best Picture. That's
I
the
will
only
say,
thing I think.
you have a different list than I do, so...
Oh, shoot, maybe I opened the wrong one, because I have 5 different ones on my computer. Who do you got?
I have Jean-Luc Godard as the start of the director one.
Oh, okay.
Gene Kelly is the start of my actors.
Okay, so directors: Jean-Luc Godard, Francis Truffaut, Ben Loach, Vittorio De Sica,
Yep.
Frank Capra, Sidney Lumet, Milos Forman, Pedro Almodovar, Chloe Zhao, and Denis Villeneuve. So quite a few art house.
Yes, these are going to be some art housey movies right here.
There's a couple of them that I think actually could make a interesting choice. I mean, Frank Capra is one of my favorite directors of all time, so it's going to be hard not to pick him. But
that's fair.
We'll see.
So I'll take us to our actors and actresses, and we'll do the character actors as well. But I will say all these graphics should be up on screen if you're watching. If they're not, that's my fault. But nonetheless, here for our audio listeners, our 20 actors to pick from today: Gene Kelly, Spencer Tracy, Clark Gable, Kirk Douglas. So we are going old school with these top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Burt Lancaster, Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, Henry Fonda, Laurence Olivier, Christopher Lee, Max von Sydow, Donald Sutherland, Michael Caine, Alan Rickman, Gary Oldman, Hugh Jackman, Javier Kamara, Toshihiro Yanagiba, Omar Sharif, and Ben Kingsley. So a lot of throwbacks. Now, in the middle of that list is quite kind to me with some very easy fill-ins if I wish to have them.
Yeah, there's some good ones in the middle, yeah.
That middle of the list is where my eyes lit up. Because at start, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with half these guys, but we'll see. Our 20 actresses, we have, from one of my favorite films, Casablanca. Check out our Top 100 series, available now. Ingrid Bergman, Bette Davis, Judy Garland, Elizabeth Taylor, the most beautiful woman who's ever walked the face of this earth, Lauren Bacall.
No.
Rita Hayworth, Sophia Loren, who every time I say that about Lauren Bacall, Mom comes back with Sophia Loren.
You're both wrong.
Anna Magnani, Julie Andrews, Shirley MacLaine, Glenn Close, Joan Crawford, Naomi Watts, so Toni Collette, Penelope Cruz,
Yeah.
Gong Li, Helena Bonham Carter, Julianne Moore, Ava Gardner, Natalie Wood. This is a...
Well, the funny thing is, all these people are like A-listers. It's just they're in the wrong period of time. That
Yes.
It's like hard to imagine any of these people in this type of movie.
I've got a couple that I'm like, okay, I can do this with them, but it's...
Honestly, Lauren Bacall's not even the most beautiful person on that list.
That is fighting words. I will fight anyone on that.
Have you seen Rita Hayworth? I mean,
I believe I have.
arguably one of the most attractive people of all time.
But regardless, they're all very talented as well. So it's just always, that's my first comment with Lauren Bacall. I don't know what it was, But a late teen, early 20s me first saw Lauren Bacall, and I just went, it's the most beautiful thing that's ever walked the face of this earth. I've
Everyone has their taste.
All right, so now we go to our character actors. A couple of these are repeats, but that's a-okay. We have Brad Dourif, Kathy Bates. Interesting to get Kathy Bates in a character actor role.
Yeah, it is.
Ben Mendelsohn, Frances McDermott, also interesting to get in a character role.
Yeah, definitely.
Toby Jones, Mary Steenburgen, who I immediately need to find a role for somehow.
Nice.
Michael Shannon, our my wife's good gym buddy, Michael Shannon, we should say.
Mm.
Uh, Margot Martindale, who I did use in the first one, but that's fine. Giancarlo Esposito, which is ironically one of the most relevant ones today that we have of this list, and Bill Camp.
That's true.
So we have a really interesting mix here of people. The
Yeah,
character
I'm gonna have
actors
to
once
look
again
up.
excite me.
I'm gonna have to look up Bill Camp because it says he's in 12 Years a Slave and Joker, but I have no idea who that
No
is.
idea who it is. So would you like first pick or would you like me to go first pick? We might go a little rapid fire on some of these.
You go first.
Okay, so intriguingly enough, I
Oh, okay. I know Bill Camp.
you
You'd know him if you saw his face.
okay. He's one of those guys. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys. So I am thinking that one of the things that is so important to Batman the Animated Series is it has a lot of heart. It just has so much. It is a very sentimental take on Batman, but this is the warm and fuzzy Bruce Wayne. This is why people always say, what's the definitive Batman for people? Most Batman fans go to Batman the Animated Series. Is because there it is a lot of heart where you can tell Batman really cares about everybody.
Hmm.
Now, how do I achieve that is a different story, but I think you need someone who can play. They don't make Bruce a bumbling playboy, but they make him a little bit more of just the nice playboy philanthropist part a lot.
Sure.
The playboy is brought down. They always have him in the role of, oh, he has people. So my question is, how do I fulfill Batman with that? And while I think about that question more, as much as I hate repeats, I think I might just plug someone in here. But now I get him at an older age than even when he played it. Because I kind of love, since Commissioner Gordon is older and he's not very active, Bullock and
Hmm.
Montoya are more of those. I'm going to take an older Gary Oldman to be my Commissioner Gordon. I'm going to repeat
Okay.
for that one.
That's hey, that's a good. Anytime you pick Gary Oldman for anything, I like it.
Favorite part of the Harry Potter film series is Gary Oldman free.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. He's great. Yeah, the hardest part for me is definitely going to be picking a Spider-Man. I have no idea who to pick because like all these people are very great actors, but none of them are like really. I think my only choices are between Gene Kelly or Hugh Jackman. 'Cause those are the only two people that I actually do like any kind of choreography, any kind of movement, any kind of fighting.
What are you talking about? You don't want to have Gene Kelly and his Dancing in the Rain shoes as Spider-Man?
No, Gene Kelly is the one I'm picking, or Hugh Jackman.
Or how about if you go completely different
Do,
take and take Christopher Lee as Spider-Man?
or I could do a Henry Fonda, the old ass on Golden Pond Henry Fonda as my Spider-Man. Um, you know what? I screw it. I'm just gonna have to pick Hugh Jackman. He's the only one who I can actually see maybe being able to pull it off.
Uh, yeah, you got the wrong list. Also, this is what I thought AI was going to spit out the first episode we ever did, and to now
Mhm.
get all the classics. Oddly, my project works perfectly for that, and oddly, yours sucks for that.
Yeah, yours. Well, I think this is a great list for all my villains. I don't think it's a great list for a Spider-Man.
Alrighty, so I am gonna go to my Batgirl, and I'm gonna take Natalie Wood.
Okay,
Again,
I like that choice.
one of my favorite films. It doesn't help. It's dark to see the reason why, but she never got out of that younger star mold because she died so young in
Yeah.
allegedly mysterious circumstances. I'm saying allegedly for
Eh,
that reason, but
it's definitely mysterious
it's mysterious. I'm
circumstances.
just saying allegedly because of
Allegedly nefarious.
allegedly nefarious. Thank you. Allegedly nefarious, but represents one of my favorite films of all time, and Rebel Without a Cause. I think Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood is definitely one of those top 10 what if scenarios for me because I definitely could see her having one of those careers that ebbs and flows, but every couple of years you're like, yep, Oscar, it's gonna happen for her kind of
Hmm.
roles.
Yeah, unfortunately, I only have two actors or two characters on my list that are female. So I'm actually gonna gender swap at least one of these villains.
That's
I'm just
okay.
gonna have to, just because I want a little bit more representation.
Sure.
Um, I'm gonna pick my MJ next, and there's a couple good ones that I see. Rita Hayworth is a good one. Glenn Close wouldn't be bad, a young Glenn Close.
So who works with Hugh Jackman is really the question.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go.
I think you need
See,
someone with some spunk.
Natalie Wood also works too.
I think you need someone with some spunk for MJ. You need someone that has a little bit of fight, but can't it not too much.
One of the nice things about MJ in this game is she's actually given quite a bit to do,
Oh, good.
which is nice because she's never given anything to do in any of the movies.
Yeah.
Like she's pretty much an investigative reporter.
Okay.
She's like constantly going like into danger's way to get stories and stuff. There's actually like parts where you play as her. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go someone who I think is one of the strongest females on the list. I'm gonna go a young Elizabeth Taylor.
Whoa. Okay. Cleopatra coming to play here. Okay.
Yeah, she seems like she can give a nice fiery performance for MJ.
I I think if you play like that comic booky late 20s, early 30s Spider-Man, then I think you're in the ball game with those two.
Sure.
Just straight young, I'm like, because Elizabeth Taylor, even when she's young, is larger than life, and I don't know if early 20s MJ is
Eh,
larger than life the way it's portrayed. Sometimes,
she's she started really young.
yeah.
Like she was a late teens, or no, probably early teens in one movie I've seen her in, National Velvet. Um, I haven't seen all that many Elizabeth Taylor movies, but I'm thinking like A Place in the Sun, Elizabeth Taylor. So
Okay.
she's probably in her early 20s.
All right. So now I gotta go. I gotta find someone with some great heart to play. I'd love to hear your opinion on how I'm gonna cast Batman
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
because
There's a couple choices that I think could be awesome
I
to
think for
do.
this iteration of Batman, my leading choice right now is Paul Newman. I
That was one of the ones I was
I
gonna
look
say
at
I
Butch
would
and
like that.
Sundance. I look at The Sting, and even when he's playing nefariously, he's just so goddamn likable. And this
Mhm.
Batman himself never gets too dark.
The ones that was gonna suggest is Kirk Douglas, Paul Newman. Um, I would like to say Steve McQueen, but I don't think he's got like the physicality at all.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Um, I mean, you could do a Alan Rickman, like Die Hard Alan Rickman. He'd have to be switching accents. Yeah, I think it is between Paul Newman or Kirk Douglas for me, but
Yeah, you know what?
your movie.
I'm gonna take Paul Newman right away. That's gonna be my
Okay,
Batman. That's gonna be my Bruce Wayne,
I
and
like it.
I know he'll work with all the leading ladies. So that's what we're gonna go with.
Newman's own Paul Newman.
Yep, Newman's own Paul Newman.
Okay. One of the things I don't like about the Spider-Man villains, a lot of them have like the same basic storyline
Yeah,
where they're scientists that just go too far.
that's the problem. Is Batman
Yeah,
like it's why every time a Marvel fan wants to tell me, "No, Batman doesn't have the best rogues gallery, Spider-Man does." I'm like, "You're out of your fucking mind with that take." But okay.
I really do love a lot of the Spider-Man
I
villains,
do
but
too,
yeah,
but it's not the
they
same as
are
Batman.
very same. Um, I'm gonna pick my J. Jonah Jameson right away, and I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm tempted here. There's three right in a row that I think could be awesome. I think Christopher Lee, X Van Sydow, or Donald Sutherland would be really awesome. I'm gonna
You
go
could
Christopher Lee.
okay.
Screw it.
Do you,
Gonna let him ham it up.
okay. You mean you knew somehow some way I was gonna get Christopher Lee in my movie too, so I
Yeah.
respect it. The issue is I have so many good villain pieces, but I don't necessarily have the room for them. You know, I have so many good players for that.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna take a swing here with something, but actually, just because we just talked about him, I'll stop with the swing. I'll think about it some more. My Alfred, I'm gonna go to an older Max von Sydow. I'm thinking like not right before he dies, Max von Sydow, but certainly that later career Max von Sydow. I just think he's
So
so
like
good.
Force Awakens.
I'm thinking Robin Hood, Ridley Scott
Oh, okay.
Robin Hood.
So okay. Yeah. So like 2010-ish.
And then actually, you know what would inspire me the most is he voices the character of Esbern in Skyrim, which is another reason
Mm.
that game is enriched for me. And it's that style of character that I really like for this Alfred. So I'm going to go Max von Sydow as my Alfred.
Okay. I'm gonna get. Okay. I want your opinion.
Sure.
Of these villains, who would you gender swap? You got Wilson Fisk. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. Scorpion, Rhino, Doc Ock, Lizard, Green Goblin.
I think that I
And
would.
really, Green Goblin is actually not really the Green Goblin in the video game. It's pretty much just Norman Osborn.
Right.
I think he's mayor at the time.
The. You know what could be really interesting? So one, I think Doc Ock is an obvious choice, especially since that is split in the Spider Verse. That could help you get
Yeah,
some stuff. Number one, that's the obvious choice. Second one, but it's the problem is does it fit in the game? A gender bent change from father to mother Osborne could be
hmm,
really unique and make it a little bit. One of the things is like I know the classic motif is, revenge of the son for the father kind of stuff.
yeah,
I think that actually makes more sense when it's revenge of the son for the mother and
I would
avenging.
agree.
And also, I think that plays really interestingly in the duality of Norman Osborn, where the vast majority of billionaires we assume are evil pieces of shit. Even if they have a great public image, we always go,
Yeah,
I don't know. We just always do. Where oddly, where double standards, I guess, help public perception, which is so crazy to say. But if a woman is the head of the board and a woman is the CEO, they have a tough image, like oh she got there and she rules, but they don't immediately get the what the fuck's behind there. And I think that's a really fun image to play with as the mother and the public image of the Osborne matriarch, but then also the duplicitous nature of a Green Goblin. I think that's
Hmm.
really cool. But that's just my idea. So, or I would say just go with Rhino because it'd be hilarious.
I was thinking either Scorpion or switching the Green Goblin. I just don't know if there's a Norman Osborn, Norma Osborn that I could see on this list.
That's the worst part is you just picked Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee is exactly who I would have went with for Norman Osborn. Just have
See, if I'm going with Norman Osborn, I'm picking Kirk Douglas
okay,
because he seems like the perfect uh like blend of likable but also not likable at the same time.
sure.
Like he kind of seems like an asshole at times.
I think Tony Collette could play that role if you're going to switch it. I think
Yeah, that's true.
Helena Bonham Carter is a little on the nose, but could play that.
That's who I don't want.
I also think Sophia Loren or Glenn Close might be a
You know
fun
what?
choice.
I'm gonna pick Kirk Douglas as my Norman Osborn,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go switch it so Doc Ock is the woman.
Okay.
It is blending into the Spider-Verse stuff, but one of the nice things about the relationship in the video game is Doc Ock is like he's working like entirely independent now,
Yeah.
and him and Peter work together
Sure.
alone. So like they have a really strong bond, and then at the end he becomes Doc Ock. Um, so I'm gonna go with that version of it, and then my Doc Ock is going to be
It's the fun part.
oh yeah, I'm in between Tony Collette.
It's an
It
interesting
would be
choice.
awesome to see Julie Andrews or Betty Davis.
I don't think you can inherently go wrong. I think Tony Collette is the choice. Tony Collette's just so good at playing a villain.
I think in terms of like there does need to be some inherent warmth to that character. I'm gonna go Tony Collette there.
Yeah. I think that's more than fair. I will hit two rather quickly here. I'm going to have an off the wall pick here for my Robin, and I am going to go with Omar Sharif.
Hey, I love it. I love Omar Sharif.
I think
He's
he's
awesome.
great and he's underrated, but I think you need someone that has a bit of charisma themselves. And I like the
Mhm.
idea of him getting to play, you know, different style of orphan, move on up. Everything I've
Sure.
ever seen Omar Sharif in, I really appreciate him in. I think it's really fun. And getting a young Omar Sharif paired with a Paul Newman, I think they both just have this inherent likability to them.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think all four of my main Batman family members just have this inherent likability to them, and I think that's really important for a Batman the Animated Series. So that's why I'm
Mhm.
going with those four. And then I will fill a. I will go Batman family adjacent, sort of in the family, sort of not, depending on the take. And this is where I will put my MVP pick. I'll be taking Lauren Bacall as my Catwoman, and I will hear no other
I like that
questions.
choice. Yeah, that's a good choice actually.
I'm thinking very the big sleep and have and have not, where she's
Okay.
always on the line and ends up going good. I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for Key Largo where there's always the sympathy there. I'm looking for those two where she's really young, but she's just got this
Yeah.
thing about her where you're like, there's something going on. So
Yeah, the only one who I would pick over her, just me personally, is Ava Gardner, but that's just personal preference.
yeah,
But they both kind of have the same exact vibe to
yeah, they
them.
have vibes. It's a different vibe.
Um, I know I'm gonna pick Alan Rickman. I just don't know what for what yet. Um,
Well, that's who I thought was going to be your Doctor Octavius, because Alan Rickman's tailor made for that.
I would agree, but I did want to gender bend one of them, so
Which I think
it
is
doesn't
more than
really.
fair.
Okay, the biggest question for me is who's gonna play my Wilson Fisk? Like none of these people are anyone of stature, really. I
They
think
don't.
Steve McQueen might just have to be it by default.
Maybe.
Because like Spencer Tracy in his earlier career in the 30s, he does quite a bit of like different kind of almost like he fits like the wrestler mold,
Sure.
like classic wrestler, not WWE wrestler,
Yeah.
where he's like very fit, but he's definitely smaller guy. So it's either him or Michael Shannon pulling off the.
I'd go Michael Shannon personally, but that's just me. You
Yeah, I think I'm
need
gonna have to
more
dip
than
into the
anything
character
with the
actors.
size. If someone were to switch Kingpin up, it's the intimidation. You will do as I tell you because I am the fucking Kingpin. That's what you need in the Kingpin,
Yeah,
and that's where I go, hey man, you know.
yeah. Luckily, he's on the character actor list because if not him, I don't know who the fuck I would have picked.
Right. Also, not many people of color on this list, and I just used one for.
Oh yeah, I know. Because I need an Asian person, and there's no Asian people.
Yeah, no, it's not helping me much that I took one of the few people of color for Robin, but I mean, I want to have a cast of color, so
Yeah. So my Martin Lee is definitely going to have to change race
yeah,
just by default.
so all right, I am gonna take. Did you just take one pick or two picks?
One.
Okay, alrighty, I will go here to. I shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Do I use your boy Alan Rickman here or not? That's the question. That's the question. Actually, or do I find a way to use some of these guys? It also feels wrong to not use these people. It's not like De Niro, where De Niro is more of a specialty. These guys are just so
Yeah.
of their time the person that it's hard to just say, I don't want him.
Yeah. I mean, De Niro, for better or worse, he is kind of a niche actor.
Sure. Actually, I think this could be fun. So I'm going to go. I'm going to use Clark Gable as Lucius Fox.
Okay.
I think. I thought about another one, but I'm torn between two, and there's no way I can't use them.
Did you pick an Alfred yet?
Yeah, it's Max von Sydow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because I was going to say, you could just fit Michael Caine straight in there if you
Yeah,
wanted.
that's why I was like, I could use two repeats, and I was like, I'm only using
Yeah.
one. Ironically, I probably used the wrong repeat, but
Eh,
nonetheless. And go ahead. I got to think on some stuff. I got to fill the worst one
Okay.
ever to fill, and some other things. So
Okay, so I have. I'm gonna pick my Aunt May next, and my Aunt May. I need someone with just like extreme likability and extreme warmth, and for that, you don't have to look any further than Julie Andrews.
nice. I respect
I don't
that.
know if there's. I don't know if there's many more people that have just an inherent likability to them more than Julie Andrews.
Oh no! I immediately was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to use Julie Andrews, and it's going to pain me.
Hmm. Hey, do you want me to pick again? Because I can.
Yeah, go two, and then I'll figure some stuff out.
Okay. I'm gonna then pick my Harry Osborn, and I'm gonna go. I'm split between two here.
Okay.
Either a young Gary Oldman or a young Brad Dourif, because I think they both kind of fit the same mold.
Okay.
It's just about do I want if like more screen presence or less,
Sure.
I'm gonna go.
Oh my god, I fucked it up. Fucked it up entirely. I'm gonna switch
I
one.
think okay. I'm gonna go a young Gary Oldman as my Harry Osborn
Okay.
because Harry Osborn I do think needs to be leaning on the likable side more than the eventuality of his character.
I think it's tough because so many people view Harry as a. I remember as a kid, I hated Harry because I
So
was
did
just
I.
like, just turn already. Just turn. I'm so sick of the Weasley friend who's not that great, who's after MJ,
Yeah,
who's just like, just shut the fuck up and be a heel already. That was where I want
yeah.
him to go. You know,
Well,
I
he's like a tedious part of the
yes,
movies because it's just like okay, we don't need this love triangle. I'm sick of it already.
yeah.
So
So I just thought of one because I wasn't thinking of anything. I'm gonna flip a pick because I completely forgot about my character actors. And then I can at least I know it's not a good reason for it, but I also like flipping some roles here because one of the reasons I panicked with Clark Gable because I wanted to put him in something else, but I want Clark Gable usually ends up going hero mode, right? Even though
yeah,
he plays
I
middle
would
ground,
say
but he
yeah.
usually ends up going hero. I want to go the opposite. So I'm going to put Giancarlo Esposito, who usually goes villain. I want him as my Lucius Fox.
I like that pick.
And then, but I'm still going to use Clark Gable. So I am going to go as my Ferris Boyle, who to the public is this humanitarian businessman, but behind the scenes completely ruins someone's fucking life up. I'm putting Clark Gable in that role. That's what I like.
I like that.
And that is how I'm going to use that one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 picks left. How many you got?
I got four
All
picks,
right, I
and they're
will.
all villains.
Okay, I will fill 2 of these fast, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
So the question is, where do I use some of these other guys? I really want to get Ben Mendelsohn in. I just don't know how I'm going to use him.
He was my backup pick for the Norman Osborn.
Because I'm between 3 for villains. And it's who do I use for them. But I'm going to stick away from that, and I'm going to go to my actresses. And I'm going to go with here. I want to avoid just what I've seen them as, but I think it's the best thing to do, I guess. I'm going to go Shirley MacLaine as my Leslie Tompkins, who's older woman, but she played a role in Bruce's life as he grew up and stuff. So I'm going to take
Okay.
Shirley MacLaine there.
Okay.
And I think that's a little on the nose, but I also think, you know, here we
Yeah,
are trying to do stuff.
without knowing that character, Shirley MacLaine's
And I want to have
fantastic
I want to have a
actress.
little fun here for a Summer Gleason, who's our Gotham Gazette TV reporter, news reporter, because I also want to keep the aesthetic of Batman the Animated Series, where it's like 1940s meets modern day, and everyone's still in
Mm-hmm,
like
hmm
hats and coats and everything. I really want to keep that aesthetic, which I think that's why this list is tailor made for this project, to set everyone's of that era. The question is, who do I want in that list to play that part? Actually, I think that's where I am going to use her. I'm going to take Julie Andrews as my Summer Gleason. Just nice little cameo pieces, and just
Okay.
and I could say I had, and she could be a Bruce Wayne date once or twice.
Yeah, I think Julie Andrews should have been Bane. That'd be fun to see.
I mean, that's why I liked her so much when she voiced the Karathan in Aquaman, because I was like,
Yeah.
that's so fucking rad that Julie Andrews is like, sure, I'll essentially be Cthulhu. That's fine. And I'm
hmm
like, that's so fucking metal that I'm here for it. All right.
Okay. So I got Lizard, Rhino, Scorpion, and Martin Lee. I'm gonna just okay. I'm gonna pick Martin Lee. I'm gonna switch his race, mostly out of necessity, because there is one Asian person, Toshiro Yanagiba,
Yeah, I don't know
but
him at all.
I don't know who that is at all. Um, I'm assuming he is a famous Japanese actor,
Right.
but I don't know. And Javier Camara, I don't know who that is either. So I'm gonna pick Omar Sharif as my Martin Lee,
Nice.
he's pretty much the main villain of the video game. He's
Okay.
like the running through line.
I mean, that's interesting to say the least to have that role there.
Okay, three more for me.
All right, I'm going to go to Detective Bullock, who is always a shithead, but on the right side, just for no reason hates Batman. I want to play a little bit differently, so I'm going to take Spencer Tracy in that role. Where do you know enough about Bullock to know that?
No, but I'm picturing like a very gray moral cop.
Yes, very
Okay.
very gray cop. I think Spencer Tracy's can be very fun for that, so I will
Yeah.
go.
The fun thing about Spencer Tracy is like early career, he's just 100% likable.
Yeah.
And then towards the like middle and end of his career, he gets a little bit more into deeper characters. So I think that would be a good fit,
Okay.
actually.
All right. All right. All right.
The honestly, other than him, like Clark Gable is the one I would have picked,
Fair.
just as like a gray morality cop.
I just think it's
Um,
also fun Spencer Tracy being known for, again, over the top good for the most part. Getting to play in that gray area where he's right. I don't want to trust the bat, this vigilante. Why do we have to trust him? It's like, just shut the fuck up. Where Commissioner Gordon always has to be like, just shut up, you son of a bitch. Just let him do the job. Like, I really like Spencer Tracy being that loud,
sure.
obnoxious, but I'm the cop and I should be able to do this. I really like that
Um,
vibe.
okay. So the lizard is actually I don't even know if the lizard is in the video game now that I think about it. Whatever. I'm picking him anyways.
I think Lizard. Well, I don't know. I've watched the cutscene videos, but I've never. But I swore I saw Lizard in there somehow.
I can't remember honestly. It's been a while since I've played it. I'm gonna pick him anyways. So I'm gonna go. Hey, screw it. I'm going Alan Rickman here.
Okay.
The scientist who experiments too much and becomes a lizard man.
The tragic villain.
Yes. Which a lot of Spider-Man characters are.
So I'm gonna do this immediately because my next pick was gonna be for my Mister Freeze. I was gonna take Alan Rickman because I think he can play really
I
cold,
like that.
and then has a heart of ice that thaws over time.
Yeah.
And so that Alan Rickman is my Mister Freeze. So we can just talk about Alan Rickman for a second here. But yeah,
I mean, in terms of like morality that is always to be questioned, one of the best actors of all time in
oh
terms
yeah,
of that.
oh yeah, he's just so good at that.
Yeah. Because like even in Die Hard, like I do find him likable at times.
Yeah, it's like he's still suave enough that you're like, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay, I got Rhino and Scorpion. Rhino's kind of just a brute.
Yep.
So here I'm thinking Burt Lancaster, Steve McQueen, um, or for an oddball pick, Toby Jones. I'm gonna go Burt Lancaster here. I think he in terms of the list of actors that we have is the best choice for a brute. Like really, there's really none on this list.
Okay.
Like if Michael Shannon wasn't my Wilson Fisk, this is where I would pick him.
Sure.
But in terms of like who's remaining, it's just gonna have to be Burt Lancaster.
Yeah, yeah. I get you. Now I got a tough one. I'm going to save the Joker for my last pick, so I've got Montoya, who, if we were going strictly by race, that is default Penelope Cruz, but I'm not a Penelope Cruz fan. I don't really
Mm,
I don't really jive that much with a lot of her performances.
I get that.
And Montoya is younger cop. She's still full-fledged cop, but a younger cop, believes in good, and good is good, and Batman's here to help us kind of stuff. I want to get a little bit of that once again. I'm I keep going between a couple, but I'm going to go with Julianne Moore. I think Julianne Moore can still play a little bit of fun with that, so
Okay.
that will be my Renee Montoya.
I was gonna say Sophia Loren, but to Mom's point, she's probably a little too good looking for a part like that. Where it's like, have you ever seen a cop that hot? No.
Only in movies inherently where it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
this cop is eye candy. This cop is
Yeah.
not a cop.
Okay, I just have one more to pick, and that's Scorpion.
Yeah, as do I. I left the big hitter. You left one of the ones you can't figure out. I left the big hitter.
I'm gonna go Scorpion. There's a lot of physicality to Scorpion, which makes it hard again. Um,
Right. Well, the Scorpion is more the armored suit and all this other stuff. Scorpion
yeah,
doesn't have to be this big hulk of a guy.
but in the video game, there's like a viciousness to him,
Yeah,
like it
that's.
truly like a venomous.
I mean,
Like
ironically, that's who I would have picked Michael Shannon for.
well, Michael Shannon fits a lot of villains
Well, that's the worst part
pretty
is Michael
well.
Shannon can just fill in for everybody. Especially as you
Yeah,
said, Spider-Man villains. There's not a lot of differences, so you can't just
yeah,
kind of be like, I'm just
exactly.
gonna I'm just gonna plug Michael Shannon in this role. I'm gonna plug Michael Shannon in that role.
Um,
Who's got the venom to do it? That's the question. Who do you think has
yeah.
that bite?
You know what? Screw it. I'm going Brad Dourif here.
Okay.
I think he's great as Wormtongue, and he's also the voice of Chucky in all the Child's Play movies.
Yep.
So I think there's a good venomous nature to him.
There you go. All right, I have one final piece. It is the hardest piece to cast. I think it's one of the hardest roles to cast in general, in terms of adapting pop culture, even though everyone tries to do it, and that is the Joker. You can't have Batman the
Oh,
Animated
yeah,
Series
you
without
let
the
that one
Joker,
go last.
and I intentionally saved that for last to think on it. I still have my boy Christopher Lee on the board here, but I don't know if Christopher Lee is where I'd want to go.
Technically, we both do have a wild card pick that neither of us have used yet.
Here's the problem, though. In the Batman movies I wrote for college and then finished for myself, I still don't have a dream casting. Like almost everyone, I've kind of got this like mental image of the kind of actor I want. Joker is just such a I don't fucking know. Like I just don't know.
Yeah. And the animated series Joker is very different to any movie we've seen.
Well, he's far more silly, but he's actually far more sinister in a lot of ways. You know what he is?
I
He's
would agree,
closest
yeah.
to Jack Nicholson,
True.
but he's even
But
more
Jack
menacing
Nicholson
than Jack
doesn't.
at times.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jack Nicholson doesn't have the same darkness as the
Which is
animated
hilarious
series
to
one.
think that that's the reason he was cast.
Yeah,
I wish they would have went darker with Jack. Like I love
I think if Batman came out 10 years later, they probably would have.
sure.
But because it was like the first big comic book movie,
Yeah.
it's like, do we really want to risk it? Probably not.
Yeah. So I'm in between here. I also don't want a quote unquote bigger guy to play Joker. I want someone who's a little lankier, who has size but not in the way that you're thinking. But there's got to be a sinister nature to him. And I keep coming back to Donald Sutherland. Like Scanners, Donald Sutherland.
I like that choice. Like, Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Yes, very
Donald
much.
Sutherland. Yeah,
I'm thinking he's
I
got
think
that
that's
more of
good.
an elastic face that the Joker needs. He's just got those
Hmm.
eyes, and I also Ab just rewatched the Hunger Games series, and I love those moments of him as President Snow. That's the most
Hmm.
intriguing stuff of those films for me. Because I don't think that series is all that good. In
I would agree.
which I think the most interesting thing is seeing the maniacal eyes behind this put together action and how conniving he can be, but how calm he can be. That's the stuff I'm looking for in a Joker, where
Yeah.
everyone's gonna think, oh, it's got to be zany or it's got to be this. Yes, I think he can do that. I have fun with it, but
You know who I
it's the
actually,
eyes.
if I were to wild card pick a Joker,
Sure.
I would maybe pick, oh God, why did I just blank? Tarkin.
Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin. Oh my God, it's gonna kill me now, because he's Van
Uh,
Helsing and all the other films and the
yeah.
Hammer films. I can see him in my
So could
head.
I just blanked completely on his name,
Oh,
but
Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing.
yeah, Peter Cushing. I think he would be a really interesting choice because, like, with the Hammer films, a lot of times he's just like hamming it up,
Sure.
and that's kind of what Joker is,
Sure.
sort of in a way, at least at times. So I think if I were to wild card anyone at this very second, I think that's who I'd pick. But yeah, this list is not a great choice in terms of the Joker.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with Donald Sutherland. I don't know if that's the best I could do if
Yeah,
I had anybody, but I'm happy with it.
yeah, him or I would go Brad Dourif, but that's just because if you have seen Exorcist 3, that's a good like he plays a serial killer in that.
Okay.
Um and he goes to real dark places, which I really love. But
Nice.
yeah, again, it's an imperfect list. Oh,
Okay.
and we need a director.
Yep, we need directors and we need a wild card pick.
Oh man. Okay, I can't do Frank Capra, unfortunately. That's just not gonna fit here. So,
I can take
man,
him.
this is
I can take him right off the bat.
you're gonna pick a Frank Capra for a noirish Batman?
I am. Yeah.
It's
Because
a very imperfect fit.
I think that so here's the thing. I think the noir elements are done aesthetically really well in Batman. I don't know if the execution is super noir in those settings. But what I do need more than anything is the sentimentality. What I need is someone
Sure.
who's always going to make you believe right is right and Batman is right. And I know Frank Capra will give that to me.
See, for you, I would have picked Sidney Lumet. He does like Serpico in Dog Day Afternoon,
Lumet
which
was
I
the
think
other
are
one
like
I was thinking of.
yeah,
Or I thought
that's
of
who I would have picked.
or I
But
thought of Denny, even though I'm not a crazy Denny Villeneuve fan. But I think he
yeah,
just does so well with those striking imagery that I think he'd have a lot of fun in an Art Deco noir
I would agree. Yeah.
setting. Maybe I'll think about Capra. I'll think about it. I'll let you take your pick, and then I'll go from there.
Oh man, there's not really a great choice for Spider-Man, honestly.
Again, it's what's the vibe. It's all about
I
vibe.
I would have picked Chloe Zhao, but I've seen Eternals, or at least most of it, so I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
I don't hate Eternals. I think Eternals is hated on too much, but it's
It's
not great.
fine. It's
It's
like
fine.
as it's as
Yes,
mediocre as it gets,
yes, it's
honestly.
very fine. But it was marketed as the greatest epic of
Yeah.
superheroes ever told.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna have to do Denny Villeneuve because Sidney Lumet I would have picked because he's great at uh, photographing New York, but he's got like a little bit too much of a darkness to him. So I think I'm gonna go Denny
See,
Villeneuve.
that was some of my stuff. Is I like how warm Frank Capra is, and I can just get a director of photography that can really help me.
The thing with Frank Capra though, you're never getting darkness ever.
That's true.
Like at least on a consistent basis. Like there will be little moments of darkness in his movies, but like
Honestly, yeah,
overall, he
I'll
is
take the
very,
advice
very.
and I'll go Sidney Lumet because then I can get some of those noir elements.
I would love to see that, honestly.
Okay, so that's my director. Now you have a wild card. I have a wild card. I obviously we chose these projects right before starting, so we didn't think about this as much as we might. Resident Evil. I had things ready, so
Yeah, I don't even know what to pick as a wild card though. Like cinematographer, not really needed here.
do you want a cameo appearance? Do you want
I'm
somebody?
gonna. Um.
Do you want Miles Morales to set up the next one?
Oh yeah, I'll do a cameo Miles Morales. Actually, he is in a fair bit of the game. You do play as him in like one level, I think it is, or two.
Okay.
Okay, who do I want as my young Miles Morales? Huh. Do you have a wild card that you know you're gonna pick?
Yes, which is somewhat of a repeat, but it's intentional.
Okay, why don't you go? Because I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm gonna look up actors.
So, of all the things I'm going to take a wild card pick on, I'm going to pick a production designer and an art director. And I'm going to go with Bo Welch. For those who don't know, Bo Welch is most famous for Batman Returns, The Lost Boys, things of that
Okay.
nature. I think Batman Returns is that aesthetic, take a little bit of the Tim Burton zaniness out of it, is perfect for a Batman the Animated Series because Gotham feels like this extra character. I love all that stuff that they put in because I really like Anton Furst's design in the first Batman film with Tim Burton, but it does feel very grungy New York. Gotham doesn't feel grungy in Batman the Animated Series. It feels
Hmm.
glitz and glamour 1940s. The darkness is the underlying underworld. It's not the hopeless despair that Gotham
Yeah.
is. And I like that Bo Welch made things feel like, no, Gotham's coming back. Gotham's not on its ass. But it has this big, grandiose feel that at any corner you could find a mystery. And I really like that about Bo Welch's design. And just take out a little bit of the Tim Burton zaniness, and I think you're golden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like depending on who he's paired with, I think that'd be a good choice. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Someone just came across this list. I just looked up black actors. Um,
Nice.
and I'm gonna pick Derek Luke, who played Booby Miles in
Yes!
Friday the
I know
13th
Derek Luke
or
very
Friday
well,
Night Lights,
yeah.
I mean. I actually think he's a really underrated actor. Like
I
I
agree.
never see him anymore. The only thing I think I've seen him in the past like 5 or 10 years is that 13 Reasons Why show. And I think he's only in like one season of it. I'm
He is
not
certainly
100%
someone who I
sure.
was like, what happened? I thought you were on the right trajectory, my friend, but
Well, he always was a good actor to me. So I'm
yeah,
like I don't know why he's not anymore, but you never know.
you never know.
I think he in terms of like him in Friday Night Lights, I think that's a good fit for Miles Morales.
Isn't he in Glory Road too?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was funny.
Another movie I love, but no one else cares for.
Sure. He's in a couple things in
Okay.
those early 2000s that I thought might. There was a couple of specifically actors of color in the early 2000s that do a really good job in all these little bit parts that I really
Yeah.
thought had a chance to go somewhere and didn't
Well, like
go anywhere else.
if I were to look at just two movies alone, they're both basketball movies, ironically. But like all the young actors in Coach Carter and all the young actors in Glory Road are all really great.
Yeah,
But they pretty much did nothing, which is a shame.
yeah, absolutely.
I, it hurts me deeply because I like both those movies. And I think I'm guessing both of them have under 50 Rotten Tomatoes score.
I'm sure they do, but nonetheless. I've never seen Glory Road. I've only seen clips of Glory Road. Obviously Coach Carter I've watched plenty of times.
Have you seen any of the Disney? sports movies?
The older ones past Remember the Titans, I don't think so.
Okay, I was about to say, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. They're
Yeah.
all the exact same.
Oh, I know. That's another reason why I'm like, I'm not
Oh,
interested.
actually, I take it back. Coach Carter did have Channing Tatum.
Yeah, oh, that's the thing.
And he's like a bit player in it.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I ever saw him on the court playing basketball.
Yeah. But nonetheless, that is okay. So run through your list quick, and then I'll go through mine, and we'll call it a
Okay,
day on this year's show.
my Spider-Man adaptation. My imperfect Spider-Man is Hugh Jackman. My my MJ is Elizabeth Taylor.
It's not
Aunt
bad.
May, Julie Andrews. Harry Osborn is a young Gary Oldman. Norman Osborn is Kirk Douglas. My Lizard is Alan Rickman. Doc Ock is going to be a gender bent role, Tony Collette. Rhino is played by Burt Lancaster. J. Jonah Jameson is Christopher Lee. Scorpion is Brad Dourif. Wilson Fisk, Michael Shannon. My Martin Lee, who we're going to have to change race on, is Omar Sharif. And my cameo of Miles Morales is Derek Luke.
And that was your wild card pick.
Yes.
So, yeah, so Derek Lucas and Miles Morales. You're really trying to just pull some of your early childhood, adolescent movie heroes into focus here. Alrighty, so I went with Batman the Animated Series as my production. So my leading man, I have Paul Newman as my very warm Bruce Wayne and Batman. Omar Sharif is my Robin. My Batgirl is Natalie Wood. And I have my Alfred as Max von Sydow. Now we're going to the support characters. I have the only repeat I've ever used. I have Gary Oldman coming back as Commissioner Gordon, but I'm looking specifically at the older Gary Oldman. Very much think Oppenheimer. Think that era of Gary Oldman. Who could still move around, could still be active, but he ain't a cop. Like he is in the Dark Knight trilogy.
It's a desk job.
Yes. I've got my Bullock is Spencer Tracy. My Detective Montoya is Julianne Moore. And my Lucius Fox is playing a little bit different role than he usually does, is Giancarlo Esposito. And then my villains, I have my most wonderful pick of all time, Lauren Bacall as Catwoman. Who she's not really a villain, but Catwoman's never really a true villain. Far more anti-hero, just great character. I then have Ferris Boyle, who's a evil businessman but has a good face on the outside, as Clark Gable. My Mr. Freeze, who is our main focus villain, is Alan Rickman. And I have the Joker, played by Donald Sutherland. I do have two little bit parts. I have Julie Andrews playing Summer Gleason, the Gotham Gazette reporter. And Dr. Leslie Tompkins, kind of the motherly figure to Bruce Wayne, is played by Shirley MacLaine. And this film will be directed by Sidney Lumet. And my wildcard pick was production designer and art director Bo Welch, who's most famous for Batman Returns, The Lost Boys, things of that nature.
Very good.
Yeah, so that's... I don't think this was too bad. I always go in going like, this is going to be terrible. I'm like, I don't think this was that bad.
I don't think mine's great.
Yours isn't because there wasn't a single
random...
young actor that you're like, that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has like an age cap like 30, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like that's the problem.
I don't think anyone's interested in old man Spider-Man, you know? Like no one's interested in that. Where old man Batman's really intriguing.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it'll be fun and interesting to see where it goes though. So, and you know what? I was just thinking since the 30th anniversary of Pokemon's coming up, maybe we'll both do a Pokemon episode. We'll both do Pokemon competing against each other.
Okay. Are there different is Ash like a running
He's
character?
an anime specific character.
Okay, I'll do that then. Yeah. I'll do Ash.
Okay.
You do whoever.
Yeah, I'll do the video game, you do the anime.
Yeah, I literally only know the original 151.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. But that has been our show today. Check out the rest of our content. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening wherever you are. Go watch a great movie and treat yourself. Peace, love, and hugs to you all. Goodbye.